guys, welcome back to our channel. It's been a hot minute. I have so much to say and so much to cover and update you on. But first of all, I just wanted to say, if you're watching this, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. And I'm excited to be back and let you know what the heck's been going on. It's been a hot minute since I have posted a vlog or any kind of update, really. I have a lot to share and we're just gonna get really honest and real here in this video. Like really fill you in on what's actually been going on. And yeah, if this is your first time seeing me or if you haven't seen me in a while, my name is Lauren. I'm a mom of 3 girls under 4 and I'm an American expat living in Australia. So my partner Daniel is Australian, I'm American, and we have this beautiful blended family of dual citizen babies, and we try to balance life back and forth between the US and Australia. And I'm an entrepreneur, I have my own business, and my partner works from home, and our life is just this big juggle of trying to figure out how to do life in a bit of an unconventional way with our family being split between 2 countries, and it's just kind of crazy. But we started this channel as a way to have an outlet for me personally, because I'm creative and I love creating and I love documenting. I film everything and I have so much content that is still not published, it's not put anywhere, it just gets, you know, saved onto the camera. So I actually started this channel as a way to hold myself accountable and put the content out there so that I have one space where all of it is. I can show the girls when they're older, and I just love that whole idea. So anyways, I want to take you back actually last year, so 2022. In July, we went viral. So I had one video go viral, and it was the story of our family and how Daniel and I met, how we got pregnant unplanned with our first daughter, and then ended up having 3 babies in 3 years. So that video went viral and this channel just blew up and it was crazy, and it was totally unexpected, but it attracted such a beautiful community of people, you guys. And that's what happened. And so when that happened, I remember sitting down and I just said to Daniel, like, what am I gonna do with this, right? It was like I was given this platform, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the span of a week. And I was like, what do I wanna do with this? Like, where do I want this to go? And I told myself I would just keep creating content, I would upload videos, I would just do what I was gonna do anyways, and just do it for fun and see where it led. Because for me, I'm not one of those creators where, you know, I'm like obsessed with monetizing our platforms right away or anything like that, because I have my own businesses. That's my main thing. So I just wanted to use this outlet, this platform, as a creative space. So I decided that, and then life got a little crazy, which is what I'm gonna update you on. Life got a little crazy. So where do I wanna start? I wanna start by saying the last video that I uploaded as of now was Stella's 4th birthday party. You can go back and watch that. That was so much fun. My mom traveled over here. She flew out just for Stella's birthday, pretty much, and it was so much fun. You can go watch that vlog. But basically after that, I kind of ghosted and didn't upload. And here's what's happened since. So December rolled around. So Christmas time rolled around. That was a pretty normal Christmas, to be honest. I didn't see my family. My family was not here, which is really hard for me. If you don't live near your family and you're close to your family, you're probably gonna resonate with this. But for me personally, it's been really hard to live 10,000 miles away from my family. I am very close with them. I have 2 sisters who are like my best friends, and my mother I'm very close to. And so honestly, living this expat life, you know, a lot of people look at our life and look at my life and go, wow, you know, that's amazing. And you know, it is, but it's also really hard, and it comes with a lot of emotional turmoil. I just find it really hard to spend, you know, holidays without family, and trying to balance everything is just I feel one of the most challenging parts in our life. But I like talking about it because I know that just by talking about it, it normalizes it, especially for people that don't live near family and you have to go through these emotional waves as well. So anyways, Christmas, we were here in Australia. We stayed in Sydney for this Christmas. My family did not come over, unfortunately. So what I did on Christmas this year, or last year, that I loved was I actually surprised my family, and I booked a plane ticket. I booked a flight for me and my youngest daughter, Ava, who's now 1. I booked flights for us to go over to the US. And this is what I want to talk about too. So my partner, my boyfriend Daniel, he is currently banned from the US for a total of 5 years. He has 2 years left in his ban. That's a whole nother story, like for a separate video. I'll do a separate video on that, but he's currently banned. He cannot enter the US for 5 years. And so I had this desire. I really wanted to go home, ideally for Christmas, but that didn't happen. So I wanted to go right away in the new year in 2023, but I knew that if I go, like, he can't come. So I had this really hard choice to make. Do I try and travel 10,000 miles by myself with all 3 of my girls who are 4 and under, which is kind of insane to even consider. People thought I was crazy for even considering it. Or do I bring just the baby, my youngest, because she has never been and she still hadn't met a bunch of people, friends and family over there. And that was the decision I ended up going with. So Ava and I, we traveled to the US. I did the journey by myself, her and I. So that, I can talk a little bit about that if you want to know more. Ask any questions down below, but I have a lot of insight and experience with traveling with babies, especially on long haul flights, because Stella, our first daughter, who's now 4, she was on 30 flights her first year of life, and we did the international flight from Australia to the US multiple times with her. And so I have a lot of tricks and hacks that I've learned to make traveling easier with babies. And I could do a whole video on that if that's something that you're interested in. Let me know in the comments. You can ask any questions. Let me know if that's something that would be helpful, and I can create a video on the best hacks that I've learned to make traveling with kids easier. So Ava and I, we went to the US, and my biggest reason for wanting to go, like, yes, I wanted to see family. Yes, I wanted to just, you know, have a bit of a break, so to speak. But more than anything is I wanted to heal. So if you have been here for a while, maybe you saw my video. Honestly, I think I posted a year ago. It's been a while, but I lost my dad to suicide in the beginning of 2021. So it's just been over 2 years, but I lost my dad to suicide. And obviously with something like that comes a lot of trauma, obviously a lot of just a lot. If you've ever lost somebody to suicide, you understand this and you get it. Just losing somebody, period. Somebody unexpectedly that you love, that you know, that's close to you, like it throws you for a whirlwind. And losing my dad did that. And I knew at the end of 2022, even though it had been almost 2 years since his passing, I knew that I still didn't have the level of closure that I was looking for. I didn't feel like I had healed as much as I knew was possible. And I knew that by going home, going to the US and doing it only with one of my kids instead of all of them, like, I knew that that would give me some space to really reflect and breathe and process and do it with my sisters. And that would allow for the healing that I really felt like I needed. And let me tell you, it did so much. And I'm just so grateful to myself for making that choice. And I want to say to you that if you ever are in a situation or a moment or have a chance to prioritize yourself and your healing, take it. Choose it every time. Choose your healing every time. Choose your well-being, your mental well-being every single time. And I know that it's not always easy, like, especially if you're a parent, it's not easy to prioritize your healing, but it's so worth it. And that's what I did. So January, Ava and I went over to the US. We were there for 2.5 weeks. I still worked. My business is online, so I have a coaching company and I just run it from anywhere. So I was still working, but I wasn't creating as much content. I filmed a lot though, so I'll put some clips in here for you to see what that trip was like. We spent time with my mom, with her partner, with my two sisters. And it just was such a beautiful reminder of how healing family can be. And it was on my heart to come on here and talk about the fact that your healing is it's so important and it's so worth it. It's so worth it. And even before this trip, I had gone to therapy, so I put myself into therapy. I just knew I didn't want to pass on my trauma to my kids. And so all of last year, all of 2022, I ask myself every single day, what can I do today to deepen my healing? What can I do today to prioritize my healing? What can I do today that will bring me closer to me, that will heal everything that I went through with my dad? Like, I really prioritized it because I'm a parent now, because I'm a mother, and I don't ever want to pass on my trauma to my kids and give them something to go to therapy for, if you know what I mean. So that's what the beginning of this year looked like. I was in the US, and I'll put a couple clips in now from the trip for you to see what that was like. Ava, you having fun at Grandma's house? Oh, where's your friend? Where's the kitty cat? Where's the kitty cat? Huh? Where's Jake? Where's Jake? You are 12 months old. We're at Grandma's house visiting. It's January 2023. Yeah, and you and your sisters are in Australia with Daddy. And Mommy brought you here to meet some family. And so I could see my sisters. Ava, Ava. We've had so much fun. It's been so wonderful. Ava, what are you doing? Hey, Ava. Ava, what are you doing? Silly girl, I love you. 1, 2, good job.
Hi, kitty.
Oh. Hi, Kit Kat. Who's that? Is that Kit Kat? Hi, Kit Kat. Hello. Look at Auntie Ella. Ava.
Look at Ava.
Ava. Babe, get her attention.
Oh.
And everybody smile.
Ava.
Oh, look.
No, we don't have Olivia.
Back home because here's a smile. Ava. Oh, I know. Hi.
3, 2, 1, cheers. Ooh. All right, ready? I'm just sorry, I love you.
Sorry, I love you.
It's good. 3, 2, 1, cheers. Wow. 3, 2, 1, cheers.
Yeah, I did. Who's that?
Ah.
The prom pose?
No, yeah, do the prom pose. Do it, do it.
Okay.
So good.
So that was the trip. That was the beginning of 2023. Then here's where things got crazy. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. Did not see this coming. So I was on the flight back with Ava. So we were in LA. We flew out of LA. We were getting on the plane. We sat down, the plane took off, and she pooped like right away and I had to go change her. So I go into the airplane bathroom and I'm sitting there, I'm changing her, and I notice this small blister on her leg, like on her thigh. It's so tiny, almost unnoticeable, but I noticed it. And I didn't think anything of it. And we went about with the flight. We, got through the flight. We landed Sydney. We get back home in Australia. And a couple days go by and that blister starts growing. Like obviously, noticeably starts getting bigger. And I still think to myself, oh, it's a weird rash. I tried a couple different creams. It wasn't going away. 9 days later, or 7 days, maybe about 7 days later, it got so big, like huge. But the weird thing was that it wasn't upsetting her. Like she was showing no signs that it was causing her pain. She was not crying when I put cream on it. Like there was no major red flags that it was causing her any harm other than just the look of it. It looked awful. I might put a picture in here maybe to show you what it looked like. It was just horrendous looking, but she wasn't giving me any reason or signs to like run her into the emergency room. So I didn't, and I kept, I guess, assuming that it was just a nasty rash, and I just kept putting creams on it. And anyways, it got to one day where she started spiking really high fevers. And so that was my indicator to take her in, and I brought her in. She not only had the high fevers, but she was breathing funny. Like her breathing was definitely not normal. And they also ended up looking at her rash that I thought it was a rash. They looked at it, and all of this to find out that she not only had RSV, so she had contracted RSV from somewhere, which is a respiratory virus that can be very dangerous in babies, especially under 1. And she also tested positive for 3 other viruses, which is insane. I can't even remember all of them. I'll list them out here if I can remember them. I'll list them out here. But she tested positive for 3 viruses, and that rash on her leg ended up being a staph infection. Like insane, crazy. And I just felt so bad. I felt so much mom guilt, like so much mom guilt around this, because I'm like, I should have brought her in sooner, like all those terrible thoughts, you know? I had so much mom guilt, but I brought her in as soon as I thought she needed to go in, and thank God I did, because we ended up spending 2 nights in hospital, 3 days total, because she was on oxygen. Her oxygen was low. They were treating her with antibiotics through an IV for her, for the staph infection. Like all of this happened pretty much a couple days right after I got back, like right after we got back, or like a week after we got back. It was just crazy. But that's not all. So that happened, and then 2 days later, Aria gets sick, my 2-year-old. She starts having similar symptoms. She gets really high fevers. And then one night I notice her breathing is not normal either. And I'm like, oh, here we go. So I take her into the ER, same exact thing. She gets admitted for 2 nights, 3 days. So I spent a total of 4 nights and 5 days, I believe, with 2 of my girls in hospital for RSV. So Aria ended up testing positive for RSV as well. She didn't have staph infection. She didn't have any other viruses, but she had RSV. She also needed oxygen. And it was just a really freaking scary and also just exhausting time. Like I've never, like Daniel and I looked at each other during this time and we're like, this is crazy, but it still wasn't over. I wish this was like not real, but after Aria got out of the hospital, I can't even remember, I think a day went by and Stella starts spiking the high fevers. And Stella is my 4-year-old, and I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Like I looked at Daniel and I'm like, you've got to be joking. I ended up taking Stella into the ER, and thank gosh she wasn't as bad yet. So she did not require admission. She was not admitted. We were just in the ER for a night with her, but we got sent home on antibiotics as well as an inhaler. And we got home and all 3 of the girls at this point were on antibiotics. They all had, they were all taking an inhaler, and we had this strict schedule we had to follow where they were all getting inhalers every few hours. Like it was crazy. It was so crazy. That was definitely the most challenging time as a mother, as a parent that I've ever gone through. And so that brought us up until the beginning of February. So I got back from the US with Ava at the end of January, like the very end. And then we were basically in and out of the hospital for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, I don't even know. And that brought us all the way up until like Valentine's Day, I think. And then from Valentine's Day, Ava or Aria or one of the girls got like a gastro bug virus of some sort, like from the hospital. We think it's from the hospital because where else would they've gotten it? So then everybody was vomiting for a few days, and it was like, I'm not kidding, it was the craziest few weeks. It was the most tiring, like mentally, emotionally, physically, all the things. So on top of all of that, I was running my business. I was running our coaching business. I was trying to take care of everybody. That was it. Like that was life, was just trying to take care of myself, trying to be a parent as well, and, you know, tend to the needs of your kids. Like parenthood and motherhood is such a reminder of two things. Number one, you're not superhuman and you don't have to pretend to be, and it's okay to rest, and it's okay to show your kids to rest. Like it's okay to show your kids that you take care of yourself as well. Number two, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to invite help in, and it's okay to seek out help. I did both of those things during those 2 weeks because I would not have survived if I didn't. Daniel and I would not have survived had we not asked for help, had we not allowed ourselves to rest and showed our kids that we're not superhuman and that we need rest too. Like it was a beautifully empowering time in a way. As difficult as it was, I am glad it happened because it showed me what I'm capable of, and it reminded me that I honestly believe life only hands us what we can handle. As tough as that is to believe sometimes, and as tough as it is to sit there and go through seasons like that where you're like, really? Like, really? Does this have to, like, does this have to be happening? But it was all happening for a reason. And now I'm happy to say it is now the very beginning of March, and knock on wood, we're all healthy again. And there's something really big though coming up that we have to stay healthy for. Aria in particular has to stay healthy for. She has surgery. So Aria in the past year and a half has been going through this medical mystery. So she's now 2.5. She turns 3 in May, so she's actually closer to 3 now. But she has had repeat chest infections pretty much since she was 14 months old, like just over a year old. She has had these repeat chest infections like bronchitis, pneumonia. She's been on so many rounds of antibiotics for bacterial chest stuff. And they don't know why, other than the fact that she's had 5 or 6 chest x-rays in the last year and a half that have all shown something on her right lung, and nobody knows what it is. Like no doctors know what it is. We've not gotten any answers ever. And so what's happening is they're doing what's called a I'm gonna say this wrong, but they're doing a procedure. I'll put the word here. They're doing a procedure where they go in with a scope. She has to go under anesthesia. They put a breathing tube in, but they go in with a scope, with a camera, and they look at her lungs from the inside out, because they told us that x-rays are not going to show anything else at this point. They have to get that inside look. So she's having this surgery done in the middle of this month, like in like a week and a half. And I just realized that that's so soon, but Aria's having that. I'm feeling a little nervous about that, just like any parent would, but it's needed and it's necessary because it's been so long that we haven't gotten answers, and we just want to know what's going on and tackle it, whatever it is. So I'll keep you up to date with that. My heart goes out to you if you are a parent of a chronically sick child. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And especially not easy if from the outside, sometimes things look fine. You know, she's running around being herself, and then before you know it, she has this wet cough and fevers and some sort of infection, again, out of the blue. So anyways, that's been something we've been going through kind of privately behind the scenes. But I'd love to talk about it more because I know that it does help parents out there who are going through something similar. So, or even if it's not your kid, if you know somebody who's chronically ill and you don't have answers, if you're in some sort of medical mystery yourself, like, I feel you and I'm there with you. And I have found the best way to get through it is truly taking it day by day and trusting that the doctors know what they're doing. And if you are listening to your gut and you're advocating for your child, you're doing the best that you possibly can do. And that's all we've ever done for her. So that surgery is coming up really soon, and I'm just trying to keep her healthy before that, because if she's not healthy, like if she has any sign of sickness, if she has a fever, if she has a cough, if she has like any sign of being unwell, they will not do the surgery. and she needs the surgery. So I might even take her out of daycare the week before just to make sure that she is well enough to have it done. And yeah, that's pretty much what life has looked like since I posted last. To be honest, I mean, having 3 babies in 3 years is crazy. And anybody that stops us out on the streets whenever we have all 3 girls, like they always ask, wow, like you've got your hands full. How are you, how are you doing it all? And the truth is that we just take it day by day, and we try to not take life too seriously. And I try to be as patient as possible and also model self-care for my girls and self-care for my kids, because I think that's so important, especially in these crazy seasons of life where you are expected of a lot, right? Your energy is going to so many places, and I think it's so important and needed for mothers to, and parents and dads, to show their kids that it's okay to take care of yourself. So that's one thing that I do unapologetically, and I believe that it's going to help my kids as they grow up, and show them that it's okay to take care of yourself. It's not just okay, it's critical and it's imperative. So that's all I have for you today. Drop any questions below and I will create whatever videos that you want to see. I'll answer any questions. I'm an open book. I want to use this platform to talk about whatever is helpful to you, whatever is inspiring to you, any insight that you want from a mom of 3 kids, 4 and under. Expat life, like anything you want me to expand on, I'm happy to. I'm an open book. So leave any questions down below, and I can't wait to be back and film more videos and do more vlogs as well, because I film every single day. I'm that mom that just has the camera out all the time, and I do it for me, I do it for us, I do it for our family, to have these 3D memories of our lives, because I know that your memory honestly does get fuzzy. Like I have an almost 5-year-old, like I'm gonna have a 5-year-old at the end of this year, and those newborn days with her are already fuzzy. And so that's a big reason why I film everything. And I'm gonna start putting it out more and connecting with you guys more. And thank you so much. If you're here and you've hung out and you found us last year from our videos, thank you so much. And if you're new, if this is your first time seeing me, I would love to welcome you to the family, to the community. You can subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.